there was a very large room full of normal filing cabinets, and Steve showed me several of these which contained files on various properties that his father and had examined in the past. As far as I know, these files were documented over a period of years by his father and grandfather during their venture with Herbert Hoover's in the 20s and 30s, and in my view probably contain very valuable information.
I'm Dan McCullar. I'm a professional geologist in San Diego, California. I have a degree in geology from Northwestern University and a master's degree in geology and geophysics from the University of Wyoming. I have been an investor with Banner since the mid-1980s, one of the original investors with the company.
But I'm sure you're aware that it doesn't look good. You show up in your pickup with a lot of boxes. How do I know that this is it?
Absolutely.
How do I know that there is not some billion-dollar value document somewhere stashed away that you have that you just simply want to show me?
I fully appreciate and understand your concern, and you don't know.
I can't.
You can't know about that. All I can do is assure you that nothing has been taken, the files have not been used.
In around 1990, 91, I had an opportunity to visit Stephen in his apartment in Woodside and saw the files. He had moved them into a series of fireproof, vaulted filing cabinets that were extremely heavy. They took up an entire wall of the apartment. I remember there being quite a lot of concern that anybody else even know the existence of these files, as Stephen discovered the value and just the number of important files that were present. He became more and more fearful all the time that someone else was going to discover their existence.
They contain significant old information that probably can never be recovered by any other means because of inaccessibility to old mines and old workings and so forth, and as such have a great value.
We would open drawer after drawer of these cabinets, and he would pull out things of interest. They were all extremely well organized, but I recall them just being crammed full of reports and data and papers, and Steve would have marked certain of the files, and he'd pull one or two of them out and show them to me, and it was all at a level of geology that even really I was extremely impressed with. I mean, it was obviously an enormous amount of work had gone into collecting this data.
The amount of detail was just staggering. There was everything from prospectors' reports to fully engineered reports from other geologists, from investigations of my father to investigations of people that he had worked with, and I was amazed every time I went through them. There was something new I could see for work down the road.
Our immediate objectives were to produce some income from the mines at Merritt and Osceola, and from which point we could then begin to exploit the tremendous volume of data that was present.
It was just staggering, the amount of information in there. The later allegation that it was just historical value was totally absurd. That kind of information offers opportunities to follow up for years and years. Those files would have kept an army of geologists active for the rest of their lives.
We pulled open numerous drawers and spent several hours looking through various files. They were all very carefully categorized and by geographic region. He would pull out files. Some of them had most amazing things written by his father. notes attached, some paper-clipped notes attached to typewritten pages of description of individual areas, some hand-drawn maps, some published maps with handwritten notes on the maps and identified geologic features on the maps. There was no question but that there was a huge amount of data present, and that it was not easy to even move this volume of data around from place to place.
And I guess the bottom line is that the company will probably be shutting down here in the near future, and we'll either sell or donate these files. And they'll be certainly not to the company's benefit in any way, shape, or form.
Did you find anything here that you benefited from financially?
No, we don't have the funds to continue to operate. There has been no money made by the company, and our tax returns, our financial documents show that.
Some of the files would be on typed paper, others in bound journals. I remember seeing handwritten notes from his father, some in pencil, some in pen, some handwritten maps, lots of exclamation points, underlines, identifying marks that would indicate that certain files were of extreme importance, that their prospective nature were of high value.
This, of course, made Stephen Requa and the banner Hoover Requa Files of extraordinary interest to companies looking to invest there because of the proprietary information they contained.
I have pulled essentially all of the files, and there's not that many of them.
The Requa Hoover Files, which were compiled over a number of years in the early part of the century, contain information that, in my view, probably is irrecoverable from any other source at the present time. Sampling information on old mines and workings and prospects that have subsequently become inaccessible. This is the kind of information that's absolutely invaluable in trying to identify and evaluate properties in the present time. So because of that, those contents, I feel they have extraordinary value.
I have pulled all of the files in their original storage boxes, and I will make them available to you to look at, but I cannot reveal the location of where they're stored permanently.
This information certainly would give the owner of such proprietary information a competitive edge in exploring these areas.
To all people knowledgeable of the voluminous contents of the original Requa Hoover Files, Bauer's assertions here are clearly fraudulent to cover up the covert uses to which the plundered files have been put. In 1991, before joining the conspirators, Bowers had written a letter about our work on the Osceola mining claims. He wrote as follows: "It must be noted that Osceola is the site of the largest placer gold deposit in Nevada. Although this deposit had been mined since the late 1800s, the mother lode source of the placer gold had not been identified. The exploration program Stephen has marshaled and managed has led to the geologic understanding which now indicates this mother lode." The Banner corporate